Hey everyone, I just finished Boba Fett, and I gotta say, this was not good. 5 out of the 7 episodes were completely pointless, and at some points the show was actual shit. It felt like filler to The Mandalorian. In a way, it kind of feels like Mandalorian Season 2.5, which I've seen a lot of YouTubers saying recently. He constantly gets sidelined in his own show, and he's reduced to a Disney-friendly old man who does the bare minimum. Fennec does everything he should be doing, and the only time he takes charge and does anything of value is the last episode. I got my hopes up after episode 5 and 6, but deep down I felt I'd be disappointed with the finale. And I was right. The majority of the show is focused on Boba's past, with the main timeline meaning absolutely fucking nothing. It felt like an RPG side quest. Boba has beaten Black Chrysanthemum. Would you like him to join your party? Literally, every single time there's an interaction with someone outside of his group, oh, how about you come work for me? 2 of the episodes were entirely about Mando adventuring 2 new planets that were way cooler than Tatooine, while the main show lied on the back burner. Those episodes were great, and when I talk negatively about this show, I'm not including them. They shouldn't have been in here at all. This should have been Mandalorian Season 3. Because at its core, this show is a random clusterfuck that goes nowhere with its plot and feels like a Monster of the Week show more than a linear story. Originally, I was going to go through each episode, but each one is so jarring and janky that trying to explain it gave me a headache. Episode 1 to 3 are about Boba becoming a Tusken Raider, and then the Tuskens get murdered because he destroys a train, so the Pikes get pissed at him. The current day events don't matter whatsoever. Only 3 of the 7 episodes have any importance in them. 2 of them are about Mando. One of them is about Boba, and he does fuck all in it. There's some cool fight scenes, but like, most of the episode is just shooting at droids with shields. And when the shields come down, everybody stops shooting. Mando got kicked out of his cult for removing his helmet, and then he gives some Beskar to Grogu. And it means nothing. Everything that was set up in the end of Mandalorian Season 2 doesn't mean anything anymore. Honestly, I feel like this kind of ruins Mandalorian Season 3. It's so fucking bad. Boba brings in his pet Rancor to destroy Mos Espa, and it's another example of moments being stolen from Boba. Mando tries to hop on top of it and stop it, and he can't, so Baby Yoda uses the Force and then does a cute cuddle moment with it, and yeah, it was adorable, and I thought it was cute, and it made me cry a little, but it's just random fan service that means nothing in the end. Almost every single plot point in this show gets solved unsatisfyingly. The Gamorreans that devoted their lives to Boba, dead. Both fall off the cliff unceremoniously when they're being pushed. I don't remember a single character talking about it afterwards either, and the entire Spy Kids android gang was pretty bad. I don't think they added anything of real substance to the show. Cad Bane's showdown was cool, but it was way too short. I know in real life that gunfights don't last that long, but this is fantasy. It can take longer. It can be cool. It can be cinematic. I mean, look at fucking Avengers Endgame. That's not how war really is. And I would have liked to see them use some bounty hunter tech for other than their flamethrowers and blasters, but I did like Boba using his gaffy stick he made with his tribe to kill him, showing nothing beats family. And I'm pretty sure he's not actually dead because his heart monitor on his chest was beeping, but that might have been an oversight by the effects department. There was an interesting plot thread of the Sand People accepting him into their tribe, but it was so rushed. The editing and pacing made it felt like it was maybe a few weeks, but apparently it took place over 5 fucking years. And, oh boy, there's some interesting characters in this show. Boba, who apparently is the best bounty hunter in the galaxy, he goes from that to a senile old man, where, until the finale, he eventually remembers that violence is the answer to everything on Tatooine. Mando is conflicted, has to repent for showing his face, and his involvement in the climax is just to have shootouts with some pretty bad cinematography. In fact, it's the worst I've seen since Spy Kids 3. Wait a minute. I think I know why. Grogu just does, goo goo gaga. Fennec is the real leader of Boba's Symphony of Cringe, and ultimately kills the people behind the slaughter of his tribe. He was the one that was emotionally invested. It should have been him. Every single moment that should have been Boba's in this was taken from him, and he feels like a shadow of his former self. They could have made it a gradual change or had him, rule with respect, or Cad could have broke him at the end and he just goes on a rampage. But no. Cad is an excellent example of great characters being killed off for fucking nothing. Just like Han Solo, Luke, and Leia, they bring him in for some fan service and then he dies. It's fucking pointless. All this makes me wonder, with Din reuniting with Grogu, will Luke let him keep training because he went off to fight to save his friends too? I mean, Luke went off to save his friends in Empire Strikes Back, and he still decided to be a Jedi. Din supposedly has to bathe in the Polynesian spa under Mandalore. They can't keep writing Star Wars on the fly. They clearly had no plan here, and the cracks are beginning to show. It's just like the sequel trilogy all over again. A bunch of random fan service meant to distract from the lack of direction by the higher-ups. I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't hate the whole show. Like I said, I enjoyed 28% of it. The 28% without Boba Fett. In the end, I just feel majorly let down. I waited my whole life for mainline Boba Fett content. I read the books, bought costume props, and pretended to be him as a kid, and we got this instead. If I had to put a point score to this show, it would be a 4. This is the same as every other cookie-cutter TV show, but with a Star Wars reskin and tons of fan service. Episode 5 is a 7 out of 10, and 6 is a 9 out of 10. This show cost $100 million to make. That's the same as Mando Season 1. I'm trying to stay positive for the future of Star Wars, but I don't see it going anywhere good. Here's to hoping that Dave Filoni and Bryce Dallas Howard put their all into Season 3. We're gonna need it. Also, Disney, keep Robert Rodriguez away from everything Star Wars. Please.